Her world shrunk to the terrifying words on the trembling paper in her hand. Eviction. For Sarah, a single mother clinging to hope by a thread, it felt like the final, crumbling blow. Across the rain-slicked street, unseen, Arthur Pendelton watched the raw despair etch itself onto her face, saw her fight back tears before her little girl skipped out beside her. In that instant, a past sorrow met a present crisis, and a quiet, intricate, secret plan sparked within him. A plan born of love and loss, destined to change Sarah's life and his own forever. He didn't know her yet, but he recognized the precipice she stood upon, and he knew, with sudden, startling clarity, he could not simply look away. Sarah Evans lived her life in perpetual motion, a relentless ballet choreographed by necessity and fueled by fierce love for her 6-year-old daughter, Lily. Mornings bled into afternoons, afternoons into weary evenings. One job cleaning office buildings before dawn segued into another, waitressing to the chaotic lunch rush at the corner Perk Diner. Her feet ached constantly, a dull throb that echoed the deeper ache of worry in her chest. Could she make the rent this month? Could she afford new shoes for Lily's rapidly growing feet? Would the electricity stay on? These questions were the unwelcome soundtrack to her days. Their small apartment, perched 3 floors above a noisy street, was both haven and testament to their struggle. Faded floral wallpaper peeled slightly in one corner. The sofa cushions were worn thin, but Lily's vibrant crayon drawings were taped proudly across the refrigerator door like priceless art, and tiny fairy lights Sarah had found on clearance twinkled above Lily's bed, a small bastion of magic against a harsh world. Sarah scrubbed and cleaned and patched and mended, pouring every spare ounce of energy into creating warmth and stability. But lately, stability felt like shifting sand beneath her feet. Reduced hours at the diner, an unexpected fever that sent Lily to the doctor, the ever-rising cost of groceries, it all conspired against her, leading to this moment, this stark white notice that threatened to shatter their fragile peace. Lily, bless her innocent heart, seemed mostly unaware, her world still painted in the bright hues of childhood, though sometimes she'd look up at Sarah with wide, perceptive eyes and ask, "Mommy, why are you so quiet today?" Sarah would force a smile, pull her daughter close, bury her face in Lily's dandelion soft hair, whispering reassurances that felt increasingly hollow even to her own ears. "We're okay. Sweet pea, Mommy's just tired." Arthur Pendelton inhabited a different universe entirely, one defined by quiet luxury and the long shadow of loss. His brownstone, elegant and filled with the tasteful acquisitions of successful life, felt vast and silent since his wife, Eleanor, had succumbed to illness 3 years prior. Eleanor had been the sun around which his world revolved, her laughter echoing in rooms now filled only by the ticking of an antique clock. She had possessed a fierce empathy, rooted in her own childhood memories of watching her widowed mother struggle tirelessly. It was Eleanor who had first planted the seed in Arthur's mind about using their considerable fortune for something more meaningful than mere accumulation. Plant seeds of kindness. Arthur, she used to say, her eyes bright with conviction. You never know what beautiful things might grow from a little bit of light in a dark place. Since her passing, Arthur had felt adrift. The purpose she'd given his life dimmed. His wealth felt like an anchor rather than a sail. He found himself drawn, almost compulsively, to the humbler parts of the city, parking his unremarkable car on side streets, sitting anonymously in parks or small cafes, observing the intricate dance of everyday life. He wasn't searching for pity or praise. He was searching, perhaps, for one of those cracks Eleanor had spoken of, a place where a carefully placed seed of kindness might truly take root. He carried her dream, her unfinished legacy, like a fragile ember he didn't quite know how to reignite, until he saw Sarah, until he witnessed that unguarded moment of despair, instantly recognized the fear in her eyes because he'd heard echoes of it in Eleanor's stories about her own mother. This wasn't charity. It felt like destiny, a chance to finally honor Lara in a way she would have wanted. Personally, meaningfully, discreetly. He didn't approach Sarah then. That wasn't the plan forming in his mind. Direct intervention could be alarming, even insulting. His help needed to be invisible, empowering. As soon as he returned to the quiet solitude of his study, he made the first call. It was to Alastair Henderson, his longtime friend and semi-retired lawyer, a man whose discretion was as impeccable as his legal acumen. Alastair, Arthur began, his voice resonating with a purpose that surprised even himself. I believe I found an opportunity, a situation requiring your particular talent for subtle navigation. He described the scene he'd witnessed, sketching Sarah's vulnerability, the presence of the child, the chilling finality of the eviction notice. Mr. Henderson listened without interruption, his silence conveying understanding. I see, Arthur, he murmured when Arthur finished. A delicate matter indeed. We shall handle it with the utmost care. Consider the Community Uplift Fund officially activated. Within a day, Mr. Henderson's quiet efficiency yielded results. He learned Sarah Evans' name, the landlord particulars, a Mr. Grumbles, and a precise amount needed to stave off disaster. Posing as a representative from this newly minted, entirely fictional Community Uplift Fund, Mr. Henderson contacted the landlord, Mr. Grumbles, a man perpetually overwhelmed by leaky pipes and late payments, was initially skeptical. But the offer was straightforward. Immediate payment of all arrears plus the next month's rent in advance, transferred electronically within the hour. No strings, just an anonymous effort to support community members facing temporary hardship, faced with guaranteed funds versus the cost and hassle of eviction proceedings. Mr. Grumbles readily agreed. Sarah was standing at her stove, stirring a meager pot of soup, trying to conjure sustenance from almost nothing, when her phone buzzed. It was Mr. Grumbles' number. Her stomach plummeted. He was calling to finalize the eviction date. She was sure of it. She answered hesitantly, bracing herself. Ms. Evans, he started, his usual gruff tone strangely subdued. Regarding that notice, well, it's been taken care of. Your rent, paid. All of it, plus next month. The ladle slipped from Sarah's numb fingers, clattering onto the worn linoleum floor. Paid? She echoed. The first Saturday at the Oak Haven Farmers Market arrived faster than Sarah felt ready for. Her stomach churned with nerves as she carefully arranged her lemon drizzle cakes, chewy ginger snaps, decadent brownies, and rustic apple tarts on the small table provided. The other vendors seemed so professional, their displays so polished. She felt small, inadequate. But then the market opened, and people began to drift by, drawn by the irresistible aromas wafting from her stall. A woman bought a slice of cake, took a bite, and her eyes widened in pleasure. "Oh my," she exclaimed, "this is divine." She bought 2 more slices. A man sampled a ginger snap and declared it the best he'd ever tasted, buying a dozen. Slowly, tentatively at first, then with growing confidence, Sarah began to interact with customers, sharing her story, her passion shining through. By noon, she had a steady stream of customers. By 3 o'clock, she had sold out of almost everything. Driving home that evening, the empty cash box surprisingly heavy with earnings, Sarah felt a profound sense of accomplishment, a feeling so potent it brought fresh tears to her eyes. Arthur made several discreet visits to the market over the next few months. He never approached Sarah's stall directly, preferring to observe from a distance, perhaps lingering over a coffee at a nearby vendor stand. He watched as Sarah, radiating newfound confidence, chatted easily with customers. He saw Lily, sometimes sitting proudly beside the stall on a small folding chair, carefully handing out napkins or accepting payment with serious concentration. He saw the growing queue of people waiting patiently, the sold-out signs appearing earlier each week, a quiet, deep satisfaction settled in Arthur's chest, a warmth that chased away some of the lingering chill of his loneliness. This was Eleanor's spark, catching fire, illuminating a life. He saw the resilience in Sarah's posture, the genuine joy in her smile, the way she now carried herself with a quiet dignity born not just of relief, but a pride in her own achievements. His secret plan was yielding returns far more valuable than anything recorded on a balance sheet. More than a year slipped by. Lily's Sweet Bites became a resounding success, a name whispered among food lovers at the market and beyond. Sarah's custom cake orders grew steadily, providing a reliable income stream that allowed her to finally breathe easy. The constant, gnawing anxiety that had been her shadow for so long faded, replaced by the satisfying rhythm of kneading dough, frosting cakes, and managing her growing enterprise. She even hired Maria, another single mother from her old neighborhood who needed flexible work, to help with baking prep and market days, consciously offering the kind of supportive opportunities she herself had desperately needed. With her finances stabilized, Sarah moved herself and Lily into a slightly larger, brighter apartment in a building with better security and a small shared garden. Lily blossomed in the new environment, making friends easily, her drawings becoming even more vibrant and imaginative. Life wasn't just stable, it was hopeful. Yet, amidst this remarkable transformation, one persistent question echoed in Sarah's mind. Who was the visionary behind the Eleanor Spark Initiative? The grant had been the catalyst, the mentorship invaluable, but it was the underlying faith someone had shown in her, a stranger, that moved her most deeply. She felt an overwhelming need to express her gratitude directly, not just for funds, but for the belief that had reignited her own. She finally voiced this feeling to Mr. Henderson during one of their regular progress calls. The kindly lawyer listened patiently, a gentle smile touching his lips. He had anticipated this. Arthur, too, felt the time was right. The anonymity had served its purpose. Now, perhaps connection could complete the circle. Actually, Sarah, Mr. Henderson said, his tone warm, the primary benefactor behind the initiative has been following your journey with immense admiration. He finds your success deeply inspiring. He has expressed a wish, a hope to meet you personally. If you would be comfortable with that. Sarah's heart leaped. Comfortable? She felt a surge of emotion. Absolutely, she replied, her voice trembling slightly. I would be truly honored. Please, tell me when and where. The meeting was arranged for a few days later at the modest, welcoming downtown office that served as the initiative's official base. Sarah chose her outfit carefully, wanting to look professional yet approachable. Lily, understanding this was an important meeting to thank the helper people, insisted on coming along, clutching a new drawing she'd made, a magnificent multi-tier cake adorned with sparkling glitter glue. Mr. Henderson met them at the door, his smile radiating genuine warmth. Sarah, Lily, welcome. We're so glad you could make it. He led them down a short hallway into a pleasant meeting room bathed in afternoon sunlight. Standing by the window, gazing out at the city skyline, was an older gentleman. As he turned toward them, Sarah drew in a sharp breath. It was him, the kind-faced man from the park near her old apartment building, the man whose quiet presence she'd occasionally registered at the farmer's market, always lingering at the periphery, the benefactor from the cafe, so long ago. Sarah, Mr. Henderson said softly, allow me to introduce Mr. Arthur Pendelton. Mr. Pendleton is the founder and guiding spirit of the Eleanor Spark Initiative. Arthur stepped forward, extending his hand not with the air of a powerful benefactor, but with the gentle warmth of a friend. Ms. Evans, he said, his voice calm and kind, it is truly a privilege to meet you. Your journey has been remarkable. And young Lily, your mother has told me what an excellent artist you are becoming. Sarah took his offered hand, her mind racing to connect the dots, the anonymous kindnesses, the job suggestion, the grant, the mentorship, this quiet, unassuming man standing before her. It all flowed from him. Tears welled in her eyes, blurring her vision. Mr. Pendleton, she began, her voice thick with emotion. I don't even know where to start. For so long I wondered. I hoped I could thank the person who believed in me. It wasn't just the money, although that saved us. It was the hope. You gave me back my hope when I had none left. Arthur's expression softened, his eyes holding a deep empathy. Sarah, please call me Arthur. And while the initiative provided the spark, it was your own hard work, your talent, and your incredible resilience that built this fire. You seized the opportunity and soared. Witnessing your success has been one of the greatest joys of my recent years. He hesitated for a moment, then continued, his voice lowering slightly. The initiative is named for my late wife, Eleanor. She grew up watching her own mother struggle, much like you did. It was her dream to create something like this, something that offered not just a handout, but a hand up, a chance for women to harness their own strengths. She passed away before we could make it happen. For a long time, I felt lost, unsure how to honor her memory meaningfully. Then I saw you that day, and I knew, helping you, seeing you and Lily thrive, it felt like fulfilling a promise to her. In helping you find your spark, Sarah, you helped me find mine again too. The quiet sincerity in his voice, the shared vulnerability in that moment, dissolved any remaining formality. Sarah's tears flowed freely now, tears of gratitude, understanding, and profound relief. It wasn't charity. It was a legacy of love, passed from Eleanor through Arthur to her. Thank you, Arthur, she whispered, the words carrying the weight of 1,000 unspoken emotions. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for honoring her memory in such a beautiful way. Just then, Lily, who had been standing quietly, stepped forward, holding up her drawing. For you, Mr. Arthur friend, she announced solemnly, it's a thank you cake, because Mommy smiles a lot now. Arthur accepted the glittery masterpiece with a genuine chuckle, his eyes crinkling at the corners. Why, Lily, he said, his voice thick with emotion, this is the most magnificent cake I have ever seen. Thank you. He looked from the bright drawing to Sarah's tearful, radiant face, and then back to the trusting eyes of the little girl. In that moment, the vast, quiet rooms of his house didn't feel so empty. The connection forged through quiet acts of kindness felt more real, more valuable than any fortune. In the years that followed, Sarah's bakery, Lily's Sweet Bites, continued to flourish, becoming a beloved community hub known not just for its delicious treats, but for Sarah's quiet generosity. She started a small mentorship program of her own, guiding other aspiring bakers, always remembering the lifeline she'd been thrown. Arthur, with renewed purpose, formally established the Eleanor's Light Foundation, expanding its reach. With Mr. Henderson at the helm and Sarah eventually joined the advisory board, her lived experience proving invaluable. Their relationship evolved into a warm, respectful friendship built on mutual admiration and the shared understanding of how profoundly their lives had intertwined. Arthur often joined Sarah and Lily for simple Sunday lunches, the easy laughter filling the space between them. The secret plan, born in a moment of observed despair, had blossomed into something far richer than Arthur could have ever imagined, a testament to the enduring power of empathy, the quiet strength of resilience, and the beautiful, life-altering ripple effect of a single seed of kindness, planted with intention and nurtured with hope.